Scroll number 5. I do not stop, I adjust. Napoleon Hill was financially ruined more than once while writing Think and Grow Rich. Not setback ruined. The book that would go on to sell over 100 million copies was written by a man who, at multiple points during its creation, had nothing. No income, no security, no guarantee that the 25 years he had spent building the philosophy would ever produce anything worth reading. He kept writing, not because he was certain, because stopping was not the instruction he had given himself. Most people treat persistence as a feeling. They wait to feel determined before they continue. They wait to feel confident before they take the next step. Hill did not write about persistence as a feeling. He wrote about it as a decision made in advance before the difficulty arrived, so that when the difficulty arrived there was no decision left to make. The person who decides in the easy moment that they will not stop has already answered the question the hard moment will ask. The hard moment always asks the same question. It asks whether this is the time to quit. It arrives in different forms: the project that is not working, the result that is not coming, the effort that is not being rewarded at the speed that was expected. But the question underneath every form of it is the same. Is this the moment I stop? Hill's answer, built across 60 years of documented evidence, was always the same. The time to stop had not arrived, and it never would. Adjust but do not stop. I have stopped before. I have called it wisdom, called it pivoting, called it knowing when something is not working. Sometimes it was those things. But sometimes, more often than I want to admit, it was the hard moment asking its question and finding no prior decision to push back against. I stopped because I had never decided in advance that I would not. I stopped because the difficulty arrived before the commitment had been made deep enough to hold against it. Persistence is not the refusal to change direction. Hill was clear about this. He adjusted constantly. The form of the work changed, the approach changed, the circumstances changed entirely. What did not change was the direction. The destination remained fixed while everything else moved around it. That is the distinction most people miss. They confuse the route with the destination and call a route change a failure. They'll never confuse the two. I do not stop, I adjust. The difference between the person who builds something lasting and the person who does not is rarely talent. It is rarely timing, rarely resources, rarely the quality of the original idea. It is almost always this. One of them decided in advance that they would find a way through, and the other one left that decision open. The open decision is the one that gets made by the difficulty. The closed decision, made in advance, made in the easy moment, made before the hard question arrives, is the one that holds. Hill watched this pattern repeat across 500 of the wealthiest, most accomplished people of his era. He interviewed them over 20 years, often at his own expense, often while broke. What he found was not a talent for success. It was a specific relationship with failure. The people who built lasting things had all, at some point, been reduced to nothing. What separated them from everyone else was not that they recovered quickly. It was that they never accepted the reduction as final. I do not accept a setback as a verdict. A verdict is permanent. A setback is a condition, and conditions change. What does not change on its own is the direction. I hold the direction. Everything else I am willing to move. The method, the timeline, the approach, the form of the work, all of it is negotiable. The destination is not. I do not stop. I find the next adjustment and I make it. This is what Hill meant when he described persistence as the sustained effort necessary to induce faith. Not a single act of will, a sustained pattern. The pattern is what the subconscious recognizes as real. A single decision made once under pressure tells the subconscious nothing. A decision made every morning, held through every setback, renewed every time the hard question arrives, that pattern tells the subconscious that the destination is real, that arrival is not a matter of if but of when, that the only variable is the adjustment required to get there from here. I do not stop, I adjust. Hill was ruined financially while writing the book about building wealth. He did not stop writing. He did not call the irony a sign. He called it a test of the principle, and he kept going. There is no cleaner proof of the philosophy than the conditions under which it was written. A man building a case for persistence, personally tested by every form of failure the case describes, continuing anyway. The book was not finished in spite of the ruin. In a real sense, it was finished because of it. The ruin proved the principle worked. Hill knew that. He kept writing. I am not waiting for conditions to improve before I continue. The conditions are the work. Moving through them is not a delay on the way to the real effort. It is the real effort. Every person who has built anything worth building has looked back and understood that the hardest period was not an interruption. It was the thing. It was the part that made everything after it possible. Most people stop one adjustment short of the result. They stop when the adjustment required is larger than they expected, when the gap between where they are and where they are going looks wider than it did at the start. But the gap does not measure the distance remaining. It measures the growth required. And growth is not a reason to stop. It is the instruction. I do not stop, I adjust. I have made every adjustment so far. I am still here. The work is not finished because I have not finished it, and I will finish it because I do not stop. I adjust, I return, I continue. The hard question arrives on schedule and I answer it the same way every time. The answer is already decided. The answer is that it is not time to stop. The answer is to adjust and continue. What Hill built across 60 years, through ruin and recovery, through doubt and certainty and doubt again, was not a philosophy about success. It was a philosophy about not stopping. The success was what happened because he did not stop. It was never the goal, it was the result. He sat down every morning, found the adjustment the previous day had revealed, and made it. That was the entire practice. The goal was always just this: find the next adjustment and keep moving. I do not stop, I adjust. I do not stop, I adjust. I do not stop, I adjust.